Hello crypto friends, here in the early morning putting out a video before I get some things done on the day and then fly for the rest of the day. Didn't put out a video yesterday as it was a wedding day and I was not in a state to be putting out technical analysis videos. But here I am before the sun, Sunday morning, and I was reflecting upon how a ton of my success as a trader is due to the fact that I wake up every morning before the sun and put in time and have a goal of every single day to be doing things productive. So obviously the more time you put into something, the faster you're going to pick it up. And the faster you're going to be able to do what you want. So, we'll start off with Bitcoin. We'll look at Ethereum, Litecoin, BCH, Ripple. And we have daily equilibriums. And the importance of recognizing equilibriums, I cannot stress it enough. And once you get it, and you know when to expect them, it makes trading so much easier in the sense that, again, I'm not predicting which direction these equilibriums are going to break. But when I recognize that one is forming, you can then formulate a trade game plan based off of that. So on this pullback, as soon as we saw this big red day and the pullback down here, we knew, okay, we're not going to see continuation. We are very likely to not see continuation on this move. We're likely to set a lower high and see a tightening daily range. And we now saw that 5 days ago in anticipation. SPY, the S&P 500, has had an hourly equilibrium for the last 3 days. So 12 hours ago, 12 hours of trading ago, we were able to recognize an equilibrium is most likely to happen. We set the lower high, then the higher low, and now it's been 12 hours of anticipated action. With the Bitcoin weekly chart, I mean, how long have we been anticipating this weekly equilibrium? It's got to be at least 3 months at this point. So we can formulate our trading game plans based on that anticipation. And I can't tell you how many times on the 2-minute time frame I'll be scalping Netflix or Facebook or Tesla, these big stocks, and just using the 2-minute time frame, anticipating where equilibriums will form and playing within them. So here the bears had a very easy rejection and a top fishing play. The bulls found support, and now at this point things are so tight that we know to just wait for the break, because the trading opportunity within the equilibrium at this point is not as beneficial, whereas when it's first forming, the ranges are larger, meaning the opportunity is larger. So here we have our lower high at 67.87 and our higher low at 64.52. And we are likely going to trade within this range at least for today. We could obviously break at any point, but I would anticipate that we're going to break tomorrow at the earliest, and we'll see which direction it breaks in. We're either going to lose the daily uptrend, or we're going to break to a higher high and still have not set our weekly lower high if we do get that bull break. We have 2 green weeks in a row. This will be another green week if we were to break bullish. So patiently waiting. I personally am probably going to enter a starter position if we break bullish here. And I'm waiting for the weekly equilibrium, and this break, if we get over 68.23, will not be a break of the weekly equilibrium as far as I'm concerned, but it's enough for me to establish a position and then take it from there. And so I will be looking to do that with a stop buy order, or just a regular old buy order if I'm at the computer when it does occur. So I'm, again, anticipating that that's going to happen sometime within the next couple of days, so I want to be ready for that. 4-hour time frame, bull showing up this morning, so we changed the 4-hour trend. When you change the 4-hour trend, you are then convinced that our higher low on the daily time frame, the longer term time frame, has formed. So here's lower high, lower low, lower high, little higher low, pretty much a bull flag, and then a bull break on increased bull volume. And now we're looking up at resistances near our recent highs. But it's all about the daily time frame for me from here. It's the most clear. It's got a nice tight range, and we should see a clear break sometime in the next couple of days. Ethereum on the daily time frame is also looking for the potential of a lower high. It's a bit of a different setup. We didn't get the strong initial bounce, which we highlighted, where Bitcoin had a very clear equilibrium setting up, but Ethereum's bounce was not giving it much favor. So we haven't really set the daily lower high yet, and we're coming up to 255. So it is definitely a similar setup to Bitcoin, but it is different the way we're getting here. So bulls are a little bit extended in the sense that if Bitcoin were to break its equilibrium bullish tomorrow, let's say, Ethereum has already seen this kind of action without consolidating and, allowing the bulls to cool off a little bit. So I wouldn't expect a ton of follow through unless Ethereum is going to be the next coin that, this group that's pumping coins jumps around onto. But my bottom line is I like an equilibrium that's tighter, and Bitcoin right now is tighter with clear levels, lower highs, higher lows, and Ethereum not so much. It's more of, a slow move up for the bulls, but we don't have that clear little higher low, and we don't have as tight of a range. So the 4-hour time frame for Ethereum just broke triple top of resistance essentially. So that's a good sign for the bulls. We had an inside bar bull break. You can see the declining bear volume. The bull break occurred at 232.51. And just like that, up to 238. So a solid 2.5%, 3% move. And now we're looking back up at the previous resistances, and we're watching 4-hour lower highs. So you can be watching 4-hour, or excuse me, we're watching 4-hour higher lows. And you can be watching 4-hour higher lows on Bitcoin as well. The last one that we had here was 65.43, but again, we could break that level while still remaining in the daily equilibrium, which is why I'm defaulting to the daily time frame, as it's the most clear setup that I like. So Ethereum or Litecoin is a bit different here. Litecoin is not in equilibrium because it broke bullish on its pump, declining bear volume on the pullback, very healthy at this point, and now the bulls are going for continuation. So key support is 59.05 on the daily, our new higher low, and the bulls have to break 65.60 to try and see continuation. And it was the change in trend on the 4-hour time frame that let us know our daily higher low is established. Here's our higher low, bull break, and we'll see what kind of follow through we can get from that. So 59.97 is the first support level to be watching, but as far as the daily level is concerned, it's 59.05. BCH on the daily, very similar to Litecoin. Again, said this either yesterday or 2 days ago in the video. Bitcoin and Ethereum are in this pattern, and they're pretty close to each other on that pattern on the daily. And Litecoin and BCH are in their own pattern because they both got their pump, and they broke bullish on the daily. So higher low is now looking to be established at 507.01. And it's not as clearly established at this point. And the difference is everything looks the same as Litecoin. So what's different? The difference is this current candlestick on the daily time frame broke the high of yesterday. So that shifts the momentum, and that tells us that our higher low has been set and the bulls got follow through from that higher low. BCH doesn't have that. So that's a very subtle difference between these two setups that I would definitely make note of. It's an inside bar. We do not have the convincing 4-hour action and trend change that the bulls have shown up just yet, and we have to break 558.94 for this 4-hour higher low and then continuation. You can see Litecoin already got that bull break. BCH has not yet. So again, when you're comparing charts, you can notice the similarities, and there's lots of them, but there's also these little subtle differences that we want to be able to recognize as well. 528.16 and then 507.01 are supports, and again 558.94 is the level the bulls have to break to prove to us that our daily higher low is clearly established at this point. As far as I'm concerned, if we form this daily inside bar and then break it bearish and we pull all the way back down to 480, that's still not losing this uptrend because we never established a clear higher low and then broke it. It's still the same period of pullback. Whereas for Litecoin, if we come back now and break 59.05, that's a little lower high and then a lower low. So it's a different setup between those two. Ripple on the daily is looking beautiful, and the people that called it a pump and dump hopefully are backtracking on their words at this point, because it is not a pump and dump. You do not see this kind of response on the initial dip. Again, we're looking for the equilibrium setup here with the high and the low and so much space, but you don't bounce off that low at this point. What, 20%? More than that. So we're up 30% from our low, and we don't have a ton of resistance, and the bulls are holding daily exponential support. This is still an extremely strong chart. We've got resistance of 627 and then all the way up to 791. So a lack of resistances. We had multiple daily inside bars giving the bull break. If you're looking at a signal on a longer term time frame, if you're looking at a signal on the daily time frame with multiple daily inside bars breaking bullish, you can use that for a swing position, as opposed to, if we break these inside bar bullish on the daily time frame, I'm not going to be flipping on the 5-minute time frame because the signal was given on the longer term time frame. Just like for Bitcoin on the weekly chart, if we break this weekly chart bullish, I'm going to be swinging with the weekly chart and weekly time frames as in mind. So I'll be having a swing allocated position and a day trading allocated position, and making sure that I remind myself the signals on the longer term time frame. So we need the longer term outlook. So the bull break here on Ripple was 552. And just like that, we saw 8% bull move right after that break occurred on the hourly time frame. Pulled back, declining, perfect, healthy consolidation, established that higher low, hourly equilibrium, bull break volume spike. So this was a really nice setup. If you didn't get the initial bull break, there were two opportunities here. The bull break of the daily inside bar gave 8% in less than an hour, and then we had an equilibrium. So lower high, higher low, sideways trading, big spike in volume. Look at the volume here, just completely non-existent. 1 to 1.5 million, and then it comes up with 11.7 million. So a 1,000% spike in volume on this hourly candlestick is leading to this breakout and run. So that was another opportunity, getting in at a 5-8 break and that would have resulted in about an 8% move as well. So the bottom line is look at the hourly exponential support. Just beautiful support, riding that to the upside. Ripple's looking great. Ripple's looking, that doesn't mean get in now. That means, you know, we had two great signals to lead to bull entries that are getting follow through. Hourly, or the 4-hour RSI, is approaching the 70 level. We are anticipating that the daily chart is going to top out and need to consolidate before we get up to 7.9. But this is a very strong chart, and this is definitely continuing to keep the market with some bullish mindset. As long as Ripple stays strong and we see these names, you know, if they break bullish and keep their daily higher lows, they're still remaining in control. So at this point, we're heading into the end of this week. This weekly candlestick's going to close today, and the bulls do have some decent momentum. We just need to see if Bitcoin can break this daily equilibrium bullish as well. So that's where we stand heading into tomorrow and into the end of the week. We'll do some more altcoins maybe tomorrow when I'm back home with more internet and faster upload speed. And here at the end here, we'll throw some Nerdbird up there again. I just found out that there's red silkies out there, and that's the kind of bird that this chicken is. And I had no idea. They look really cool. Check out red silkies on Google if you're interested in Nerdbird's cousins. So continue to do good things out there, and we'll see you tomorrow.